السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. ازيكم متابعيني الأعزاء في كل مكان في الوطن العربي. كل الحب والاحترام والتقدير لحضراتكم من الشمال للجنوب ومن الشرق للغرب. بحبكم بالزاف بحبكم بالزاف بحبكم بالزاف زي ما كل اخواتي الجزائريين بيقولوا. النهارده عندنا حلقة زي ما بيقولوا كده ضرب نار. ضرب نار بمعنى الكلمة، لأن الكلام اللي اتقال ما عجبش ناس كتير جدا، وفي ناس انتقدت الكلام دوت وفضلوا يفكروا هو الأمريكان عايزين ايه من الجزائريين؟ هم ليه بيقولوا عليهم الكلام اللي بيتقال؟ طب انتوا محتاجين ايه من الاخر؟ طب انتوا مش عاجبكم ان احنا واقفين مع الدولة الفلانية او الدولة الفلانية؟ طب انتوا عايزيننا نفضل دايما في حوارات ومشاكل ما بين الدول وبعضها؟ طب انتوا عايزين السياحة بتاعتنا تنهض؟ طب انتوا مش عايزين السياحة تنهض؟ طب اقتصادنا يعلى؟ طب اقتصادنا يقع؟ طب انتوا عايزين مننا ايه بالظبط؟ لما تتفاجئ ان يكون في حد امريكي يطلع يتكلم عن الجزائر بالكلام دوت، ليك 1000 مرة تفكر فيها هو الراجل ده بيقول كلام كويس ولا كلام وحش؟ طب الكلام ده عجب اخواتنا والناس اللي بيحبونا ولا ما عجبهمش؟ طب بلاش ده كله، انا اتخيل ان الكلام ده ما عجبش الناس اللي مش بيحبونا. ليه؟ لما واحد امريكي يطلع يتكلم في الجزائر ويقول عنها كلام ضعيف العقل ممكن ما يبقاش فاهمه. طب تعالى نوصل للناس العقلاء اللي بيفهموا الكلام كويس، نسمعهم الكلام ده ويردوا علينا ويقولوا لنا اخر الحلقه رايهم ايه في كلام الراجل الامريكي اللي طلع يتكلم عن الجزائر. يا جماعه اوعوا تروحوا في اي حته، فضلا منكم وليس امرا، وبالله عليكم بالله عليكم بالله عليكم اللي ما عملش لايك حط اللايك بتاعتك الجميله، انا ما باخدش عليها فلوس. اللايك دي حاجه تقدير منك ليا علشان اعرف اني عملت مجهود واني قدمت لك حلقه تليق بيك كاخ ليا بيتابعني وبيشوف حلقاتي. ويلا بينا نسمع مع بعض، واللي ما اشتركش ينزل يشترك ويلا بينا.
What's going on, everyone? Here we are in Tahit in Algeria. I've been thinking a little bit about after being in Algeria for a few days and also after visiting Morocco before. I'm gonna make a kind of a comparison between the two.
ركزوا يا جماعه في الكلام ده، هو مترجم كده كده وهتشوفوه. اللي منا وانا واحد منكم ما بعرفش اتكلم انجليزي قوي، بس حابب ان انتوا تسمعوا الكلام دوت.
Positive aspects of traveling in Algeria versus doing the same in Morocco. So, here we go. Number one, if you're going to be traveling by car, and I'm going to put this into my own perspective, my own experience, which has been road trips both through Morocco and through Algeria, the fuel is absurdly cheaper in Algeria. We're talking about like this is not even comparable to the kind of prices that we have in Europe or even in the US. I just want to say for the record, we're filling up the whole tank with fuel for 12 euros. Each liter of gas in Algeria is 20 dinars, which is around 1/6 of a euro. 1 euro. J73 Land Cruiser, which takes like 80 liters or something. We are talking about filling up one of those with 12 euros. It's insane. It's just not even comparable. So that's a big plus, especially if you want to do long distances in this absurdly huge country. It's the biggest country in Africa. So it's a big plus. Number two, Algeria, when it comes to how genuine the place is and how closer to the actual culture of the place you are, without all the little funny, fluffy things that they prepare for the tourist and even the way they react with tourists and the way they treat you and talk to you. You notice if you travel a bit, you start to recognize this pattern, especially in countries that have a lot of tourism. There is this kind of facade. You know, some people interact with tourists in a specific way, like they can tell you're a tourist and they're going to behave accordingly. You know, I'm not sure if I'm making myself clear here, but I'm pretty sure some of you will understand. But my point is that Algeria is way more genuine. It's way more genuine because the place has no tourism, which is in itself might be an advantage depending on what type of traveling you like to do. That's one thing. It's like it's just way more genuine. You're more in contact with the culture. Number three is it relates to number two, but it's more specific. The people are nicer in Algeria in general. They are not as suspicious, or they are not as aggressive sometimes. The people are just nicer. They are everyone. We're talking about here, for example, in Tahit. This is a tiny town in the middle of the Sahara, and there's like 1,000 people here, and tourism is extremely low in this part of Algeria, especially now, which is Ramadan, which is even worse. Every single person in the street says hi, or if you wave, they wave back. I've done this to hundreds of people in this country already. Everybody says hi back. The simple things, you know, the little things. They receive you. We've had people saying you wanna come and eat, and are just great. No, I'm not saying that the people in Morocco are not nice or anything, but it's clearly different in Algeria. Clearly different. So number four, and this is kind of also related with the fact that you know tourism is way more limited. There's no scams. There is absolutely no scams in this country. You know, when you are walking in a market or whatever, and they charge you like 10 times more because you're a tourist or you're a foreigner or whatever, which is an everyday experience if you travel in Morocco. If you've been to Fez, Meknès, Marrakech, Casablanca, Rabat, all of those, you go to, you know, little souks or little marketplaces, you have to bargain for every single thing, and you better bargain well, or else you get ripped off street. We've bought bread from a random old guy in the road who didn't speak French at all. He only spoke Arabic, and I actually thought he was overcharging me at first because you come with this kind of pre-thing mindset that you're just gonna think there's gonna be scams because it's just the way it is in countries like Morocco or Tunisia or Egypt. Forget that in Algeria, that doesn't happen. And finally, number 5. This is also a relative thing. It has its own disadvantage, but I'm going to talk about that when I talk about the advantages of Morocco, which is coming up. And the advantage is very clear. Algeria is safer. It's a safer place. It's a safer country. Because there is a lot of police and a lot of military personnel everywhere. I know this obviously can be seen as a disadvantage because of over security, all that. But we've had experiences that kind of put this a little bit into perspective. I've been with we've met a few police officers in Tlemcen, and they took our passports, and then they were asking us to go with them to a police station. And I was thinking, we're screwed. These guys are just going to ask us for money, and they're not going to give us our passports back. I was just expecting the worst. Again, I was in the country. It was my second day in the country back then, so I was just more on the defensive, I guess. But it turned out that we were just talking for half an hour. I did show one of the officers the pictures I had in my camera. He didn't complain at all. It was fine. I didn't photograph anything sensitive either. So, but in general, the thing is, you are very controlled in Algeria. No matter where you go, if you stay in a hotel, you always have to give your passports to whoever receives you, being it in a fancy hotel like this, which is pretty much the only thing you get in Tahit, or the more humble house that we spent the night the day before, because they always have to report where you are. No matter, and we've had people asking us a ton of times, so where are you going? Where did you come from? Where is your next destination? Where are you going to stay in the next 3, 4, 5 days? So yeah, there's a lot of control. But the thing is, crime is extremely limited here, and I can tell you stories like when I was in Morocco, I've seen this is unfortunate stuff, but I've seen like people just fighting in the street. Since I've been here, I also heard stories that if you actually get caught with drugs here, you just go to jail. That's it. That's the end of it. But I'm seeing that from a positive angle. You can just travel freely as long as you tell them where you're going. And the thing is, we didn't actually plan our whole route previously. We were actually thinking about going from Oran to Algiers, and we changed our mind. We went all the way south. We did like 800 kilometers to the south so we could see the Sahara and the dunes and all that. And it was fine. We didn't actually have to formalize anything with the police. So that's what I mean. It's safe. Some people might think it's a little bit over the top to mention as a side note. It's funny because because this country is more genuine, and it seems like a sort of a contradiction. In Morocco, I was only allowed in one mosque, and it was a mosque that was highly touristic, and it was pretty much with the tour around. I wasn't allowed in any other mosque. In Algeria, I've been in 2 mosques already, and I didn't pay a thing. No tour, no nothing. Fair enough, an imam tried to convert me in one of those. Obviously, it didn't work, but I guess it's the price. A nice guy, all that. I'm gonna make a video about that. I'm gonna talk about that in a separate video. But again, it's just you're a foreigner in a country that doesn't have that mindset for the tourist, which is a very good thing. You're making new friends. Yeah, right. This random dude was just walking around. Very hungry, but we've found some milk for him already, so it's all good. So yeah, these are the 5 advantages that I can just tell you right off the bat about traveling in Algeria. So I'm going to talk about advantages of traveling in Morocco very soon. So safe travels and keep expanding.
اهلا وسهلا بحضراتكم مره تانية، واتمنى دائما وابدا اكون عند حسن ظنكم. طبعا يعني يا ريت بقى الناس كلها تكون فهمت معنى الكلام اللي اتقال ويكونوا مركزين قوي في الكلام اللي اتقال، ودي مش اول مره يطلع حد يتكلم عن الجزائر بالطريقه ديت. طبعا انا فاهم كويس جدا ان في ناس ما بيعجبهاش الكلام دوت، وفي ناس بيكون عاجبها كويس قوي وعلى كيفها الكلام دوت وبيكون مبسوط قوي بالكلام ده، وفي ناس ما بيكونوش مبسوطين وزعلانين والموضوع لا يمثل ليهم اي حاجه. هو ليه اشمعنى الجزائريين اللي اتقال عليهم كده وعشان ايه؟ طبعا كل الكلام ده بقى مع احترامي ليه، مع احترامي لكل الناس اللي بيتابعوني، اخواتي وحبايبي واصدقائي اللي بقوا عيلتي اللي بتشرف بيها، اللي هم دايما بدعي لهم ان هم يكونوا على قلب راجل واحد في الوطن العربي. كلنا نكون على قلب راجل واحد، مفيش فرق بيننا يا جماعه. افهموا الكلام ده كويس جدا. احنا في الوطن العربي لازم كلنا نتحد، لازم كلنا نكون ايد واحده، احنا نغير للاحسن. ما اقولش ده بيقول كلام كويس عن الجزائر لا انا ما ينفعنيش، انا ابقى مزعلان، انا ابقى تتضايق ليه؟ اعمل زيهم، حرك نفسك، اختار اللي انت بتعمله صح، مثل بلدك، شرف بلدك، اتعامل مع السائح اللي بيجيلك بطريقه كويسة علشان يحب بلدك ويرجع لك تاني. هو مش جاي عشان يشوف آثار ولا يشوف معالم سياحية ولا يشوف بحور وأنهار ويشوف أثر لا خالص. ده هو جاي يشوف اطباع، يشوف اسلوب شعب، مجتمع، عايز يشوف حضارات مختلفة بفكر مختلف الناس كلها تجتمع عليه. انتوا ادوله الفرصه لكده، مش عكس كده. فاهمني في الوطن العربي انا بقول ايه؟ عشان الناس بتطلع بس تقول انا بقول وبهاجم وبعمل انا عمري ما هاجمت حد ولا انتقدت حد باساءه ولا قلت عن حد كلمه وحشه. بالعكس، ده انا حتى لما بنتقد بقول من فضلك حسن اسلوبك وخليك حد كويس، خليك حد جميل. خلينا كلنا نتعامل مع بعض بقول لا اله الا الله محمد رسول الله. هو دي فيها حاجه يا جماعه ان احنا نكون كلنا محبين لبعض؟ نهايه الحلقه بشكركم جدا، اتمنى دائما وابدا ان اكون عند حسن ظنكم. اللي ما اشتركش في القناه اشتراكك، لايكاتك، ورايك. والسلام عليكم ورحمه الله وبركاته.